Ooh, isn't the Premier League the best league in the world? What a game we've just witnessed. Liverpool Man City, it's ended 1-1, a perfect result for neutrals who just want to see a brilliant title race, and for Arsenal fans because they are now top of the league only by goal difference. But this Premier League season is turning out to be just brilliant. It's probably one of the best Premier League seasons that I've ever seen, definitely since I've started properly watching the Premier League. You've got Arsenal now on 64 points. You got Liverpool right behind them by goal difference, also on 64 points. And then Man City, who could easily go and win all their last games, on 63 points. Only a point behind them. Still, though, Liverpool and Arsenal have got more goal difference than City. Arsenal with the most because of their just scoring tons and tons of goals in the last few games. But we're going to focus on a brilliant game at Anfield today with Liverpool drawing 1-1 to City. We're going to obviously start with the penalty appeal at the end because there has been some completely, just to say it kindly, some dodgy decisions over this season that will look back. Say if City go and win the league by a point, right, because that could happen, then you're going to look back, or if Liverpool miss out on the league by a point, you're going to look at it and go, well, that thing against Spurs, Spurs with the offside, what they called offside goal, that was just easily onside. It has to be a penalty. I mean, you've got Doku, who is a winger, who's in Man City's box. He's going for the ball, and just he misses the ball completely. When you say that he got a little touch on the ball, it came off Diaz's chest onto his foot. That isn't getting the ball for the start, and just completely studs him in the chest. Diaz goes down. That has to be a penalty.
Jeremy Doku's challenge on Alexis McAllister should have been a foul. Yet again, Michael Oliver and the VAR and the PGMOL has prevented that from happening, which, in my opinion, has probably ruined that game and has ruined our title charges and our Man City's and Arsenal's.
We got absolutely robbed at the end of the game. How can Jeremy Doku's foot be so high into McAllister's chest with his studs and the ref doesn't give a penalty?
Are you sure that was water in your cup before today? The frustrating thing is, it's a penalty for me because so many times this season we've seen similar things like that outside the box where players have had red cards, yellow cards, when they follow through. I know he got a bit of the ball, you're right, he did. But his foot's so high and there is a follow-through.
But he's not out of control with the follow-through. That's just a natural when your foot's
I think
that
if
high.
you've got stud marks across your chest, you're generally going to get a foul or a penalty.
Okay.
I don't know how VAR looked at it for 3 seconds, said it wasn't a penalty. I don't know what the justification was for it not being a penalty. But to be honest, I'm fine with it, right? And it's funny to see Liverpool fans just crying about it. But you do have to just say that there has been some shambolic decisions this season, and you are going to look back on it. Whichever team misses out on winning the league by, it will be a few points at the end of the season. They'll look back at it and go, well, there was this decision for us and that decision for them. There's so many dodgy decisions that have a massive impact. If Liverpool got that last-minute penalty, they would have easily won the game 2-1. I know Doku hit the post as well, and Man City had a lot of good chances, but Liverpool had better chances that they definitely should have scored, and should have had that penalty in the end. And the result's the result. It's 1-1. There has always been some dodgy decisions, so you're going to have to just accept it, but it does need to change. Manchester City will be happy with the point, though, because Liverpool probably without the penalty appeal, they should have won it just with their chances, because it was sort of a game of two halves, I guess you could say. Man City were just that little bit better going forward in the first half, although in the second half Liverpool just blew them away, and it's happened a few times this season. We've seen it with the Villa game where Villa just completely dominated Man City, and now Liverpool in the second half just completely dominating Man City as well. You're sort of seeing Man City getting found out in different games. With this game as well, it's something that started to slip up in the last, in this season, definitely after winning the treble. I think it will be hard for Man City to win the league coming off that treble, because it is really hard to win it 4 times. If they can do it, then fair play. I don't want City to win the league, definitely, but it might come down to that. I do think a lot of Liverpool's, Liverpool were definitely better in the second half. I think one of those reasons is because of Klopp's brilliant team selection. He started with, you wouldn't say the strongest Liverpool team. He started Salah on the bench. That was one that I was a bit like, you'd really need to start strong against City, because if they get 2 early goals against you and go 2-0 up, it's going to be hard to come back, because they just keep the ball. They just ball the life out of you. So you need to start strong. Liverpool didn't do that. They started a lot of their young players, and I think doing that helped them, because in the second half they brought Salah on later on in the game, who actually didn't have much of an impact. But they brought on their stronger squad in the second half and were the better team. So I think Klopp's done really well there. Obviously, Klopp leaving at the end of the season, we'll talk about in the video where we do who is actually going to win the league and who I think will win the league. And I think if Arsenal beat City, then Arsenal will win the league. If City beat Arsenal, City will win the league. Dare I say, if it's a draw, Liverpool win the league, because that's just you never know. We've got Man City's fixtures here, and it'll hopefully be popping up on the screen. Don't know. They should have had Brighton. That one was postponed, so they will be playing Brighton somewhere in there. So their next Premier League fixture is Arsenal, and it's at the Etihad, so it's a little bit harder for Arsenal. As I said, if Arsenal can win that, then I think Arsenal go on and do it, because unless maybe fatigue settles in, or just the pressure of being in that position, although I think they'll have learnt from last season, and they will deal with it well if it comes to that. Then they've got Aston Villa, which should be 3 points. We saw it happen today as well against Tottenham, the 4-0. McGinn probably just letting Villa down, I might say. Completely reckless if you've seen the challenge. Then Palace, Luton, Spurs could be, I don't know. Forest, Wolves, Fulham, West Ham on the final day of the season. And you look at the team's final day of the season's fixtures. Man City got West Ham. West Ham could be playing for spots in Europe for 6th place, because we can't just rely on the fact that there might be a 5th Champions League place, which will move all the slots down of where gets in which European competition. Arsenal are playing Everton. I think it's at Arsenal, because I think it's the same as... No, I should remember that. I think it's at Arsenal. But regardless, Everton could be... I don't think they will, but they could be playing to stay up. And then Wolves could also maybe be playing for a Champions League spot, because Wolves have been brilliant last few weeks, and could be up there, especially for maybe a Conference League spot. Liverpool have got them at home on the final day of the season. I think going into that Arsenal game for Manchester City next week or the week after, you could say that maybe City are the ones that actually need to be switched on, because everyone's saying it's a massive game for Arsenal. Arsenal need to go and win. But if you flip it, it maybe makes more sense. City need to win because City are, the massive team that win everything, and Arsenal's sensational this season. So it's that I think that will be the decider of who wins the league. And I don't know, I'll make my prediction soon on that. And then obviously the only teams I can see Man City dropping points to, maybe Spurs, because they've got that record against Spurs. Maybe I could be biased and say that against West Ham on the final day of the season. Maybe you never know. But no, on this game, the Liverpool 1-1. Doku hit the post with that chance as well, and I think you have to give Ortega credit for just his saves after coming on with Edison and that challenge. Reckless, you can't be doing that. Should he have got a red card? I don't really know, because he also got taken off as well, which put Ortega on. I don't really know on that one. But in the end, Liverpool had the better chances. Liverpool may be robbed. I think they were. And it leaves us with a very exciting title race to go on to. So cheers for watching, everyone. Goodbye.